Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the 21st of December, a much talked about date in the last few months. And today is time to let go. I have with me today the Galactic Council of Light, and the message today is it's time to let go. And we're going to get into that shortly, but first we're going to give people some time to come on. It is pretty amazing what is happening right now. If you can let go of what it is that troubles you on an emotional level, on the level of energy. Hi, Jesse. How you doing? If you can let go of what disturbs your peace of mind, if you can let go of what upsets you or angers you, if you're willing to let go, because this is the time, as you move from one age into another, it is time to let the old go and let the new thrive. I was approached yesterday by somebody who said, is it possible there can be some form of a meditation today? Seeing that this is the beginning of the winter season, and it's also the winter solstice, there's also this grand conjunction happening and a whole other range of things. But what's really, really important, they said to stress today, is that it's time to let go. We won't be doing exactly a meditation, but what we will be doing is giving you the time to access that which you want to let go of from your life. Do that today. So choose an emotion, an idea, a belief that you have that does not serve you, and make a decision that you're going to let it go. And we're going to do a 3 or 4 minute exercise for you to sense, feel, and know how you experience that which you need to let go of. And when they said to let go of, for me, it is anger. For me, it was unconscious anger, to let go of unconscious anger. Not some of it, all of it. So whatever it is you're going to choose to let go of today, make a decision right now that you're willing to let it all go. Your fear, your guilt, your shame, your disappointment, your uncertainty, just be willing to let them go during the 3 minute activity. When we get into it, we're going to wait a few more minutes for others to arrive. This process of letting go, most people get into this finite state, I'm William, or I'm Jim, or I'm Mary, or I'm Carolyn, or I'm so-and-so, and we are unaware of what is going on in our unconscious realm, in the subjective realms, in the vast storehouse of all of your acquired knowledge and experience, that you harbor everything that you've experienced within this space of being. And you have the ability to change it and alter it at will. Not just a part of it, but all of it. In the process, we will work through you today. Understand that you can let it all go with your intention, and simultaneously you will need to remain vigilant in the coming weeks, to remain vigilant so that when that old element that you have released attempts to surface in any moment, even in the subtlest of ways, be willing to remind yourself, I'm letting this go. Whether it is anger or fear or guilt or worry or shame or disappointment whatever it is you choose to let go of today, formulate the intention that you're willing to let it all go. And anytime it surfaces to your awareness, choose to let it go again. Eventually, it will not trouble you anymore, for you are not giving it the attention. You're pulling your spirit out of it. You are taking your spirit out of it. And when you take your awareness out of something that does not serve you, then that thing that does not serve you has no life. For you, as the awareness, give life to that which is within you, as equally as you can take life from that which is within you. And so we simply say, be willing to completely let it go. This is the time you as individuals and you as a species must now learn to let it go, to not continue repeating your past over and over and over again. It is such a waste of your wonderful talent and your time. Be willing. And so we're going to go through a 3 or 4 minute process, not at this moment, but it's very fascinating when you consider that we are at this place where there is so much going on the planet, so much fear, so much uncertainty, that we're holding on to what we're so familiar with, which is our suffering. We get so attached to the life of our suffering that we've forgotten that we don't need it anymore. We don't need to suffer to feel alive. We don't need the life of suffering, because it is a life. It's just an uncomfortable life. You don't need a life of anger. That's just something you're familiar with. You don't need a life of sadness. You need a life of joy, love, playfulness, compassion, excitement, determination. And in order to fully realize those with your life and your awareness, as you take your awareness away from that which you are choosing to let go of completely today, choosing to let it go completely today, that you then get to take hold of that which you wish to endear in your life, your joy, your possibilities, your wealth, your prosperity, your excitement, your bliss, your thoughtfulness. So as you draw your life away from your suffering and commit to letting that go, you may embrace those things which do indeed fulfill you and satisfy your heart, your mind, your soul, your spirit, and the life all around you. The life all around you. And I found that very interesting, yes, that we can let go. We can literally just choose to let go repeatedly. And so after we go through the process today, be willing to be aware and vigilant when the old energy, the fear, the anger, attempts to grab your attention and bring you into itself again. Remember, you gave it life by giving it attention, and now you're going to take the life that you've given, your limitations, your fear, your guilt, your shame, your anger, you're going to take your attention, your energy off them so that they won't live in your life anymore. And then you're going to put your attention on what serves you and keep your attention consciously going consciously where you want your life to be going consciously. It will not happen automatically. If it were going to happen automatically, it would have already happened for you. You are a creator being, and it is by the exercise of choice through the use of your will that you liberate yourself from one thing and assemble yourself to another. You transform from one into another, a process of letting go. But it is important you become conscious of what you are letting go of. Become conscious of what you are letting go of. And be conscious of what you are choosing to embrace instead. And whenever the old arises, remember your commitment to let it all go. And every time you take your attention away from that, you take more life out of it. And then you give your life to that which prospers you, enlivens you, excites you, delights you, enlivens your love, your playfulness. Begin to give your light to that. Your attention is life. Your attention is life. Give your life to that which gives you life, not suffering. The process will be very simple. Take a moment to decide something that you're willing to let go of completely and totally. And as you're doing that, when we bring that to the forefront, you're going to recall all instances from your past where that energy, again, it's depending on what emotion or quality you're going to let go of completely, whether it's anger or fear or depression or anxiety. You're going to decide to let it go. Once you're aware of that, that's what you're going to let go of. You're going to let it go. You're going to use your breath. You're going to let it go. And then you're going to move your awareness into the opposite. What do you want? But you're going to go back as far as you can in time, remembering all those moments where the anxiety, the anger, the guilt, the shame, whatever the emotion you're going to let go of today, you're going to let it all go. And one of the things that I've been going through personally as they've been running me through this morning is I went back to, I guess I'm 2.5 years old, and remembering the emotion of anger that I felt because the environment wasn't functioning the way I thought it should function. And I went back to that, and then I watched as I could see all of the instances in my life where that vibration of anger has been with me since early childhood. And now it's time to let it go fully and completely. So you're going to track, once you've decided what the energy you're going to let go of, whether it's fear or anger, guilt or shame, it's time to let it go. And you're going to access how that's been a part of your life. And you're going to make a decision once you've accessed that whole space-time. For me, it's from age 2 to the present day, which is age 61. And that whole time frame where any of that energy of anger from within that entire space of time, I am letting it go. All of it. Make a decision that you're going to let it all go today. And then subsequently, because when you start to pull your energy away from it, it will start to try and get your attention back. So in the coming days and weeks, if you're persistent, for those of you that are really astute and diligent, you're going to find yourself being liberated very rapidly. Every time you catch yourself feeling that old energy and you pull your attention away from it, you're going to feel a little more freedom. If it comes back in, you pull your attention away, a little more freedom. And every time you make that shift in awareness from what was to what you want, which is your joy, your excitement, your playfulness, your success, your prosperity, your job, your right relationship, whatever it is that you're going to be giving your attention and your life to. Remember, yes, your attention is your life. You feed the experience of your creative process with your attention. And so I hope you've all decided what energy, what emotional quality you're now willing to release from your life completely. You must decide, I'm going to let it go completely today, and then do the maintenance work over the coming days. So we're going to take a few questions and answers before we get started, so that if there's any questions or concerns about the process, again, with us today is the Divine Council of Light. Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm. And allowing your attention to come away from that. Giving yourself permission to pull your attention away from that energy and putting it onto the new energy. Some of you might find it beneficial to go to the opposite. For me, the opposite of anger is patience, right? Patience and peace are the opposite of anger for me, patience and peace. And that's where I'm going to be putting my energy. And so I've been at this all morning, watching how so subtly these energies have become a part of what we think, feel, say, and do without our even being conscious of it. And so this is designed not simply to teach you to let go of something, but also to make you mindful of being willing to not feed it anymore, consciously and deliberately. Just as you learned to be a certain way, you can unlearn it, but it has to be done, as I said earlier, consciously through a use of our will. So let's see what we got here in the way of questions. Hi, Nicole. Good morning. Hi, Bogumila. Hi, Kelly. Wow. Oh, thank you so very much. I'm glad to hear that. It's, there we go. Questions. So are we really clear about it's only going to take like 3 to 4 minutes. They have insisted that the goal is only to initiate you in the process of your own liberation, for you are capable of self-liberating. Is this simply to initiate you into the process, the awareness of how to let go and how to give your life to something better in the present moment. They're asking me to communicate to you, do not be attached to what will ensue, what will unfold in your life. For things will change when you choose to let it go and you choose to give your light and your life to that which will serve you. For you know that love will serve you. You know that joy will serve you. You know that peace will serve you. You know that compassion and kindness will serve you. And if you give your life to these things, then your life will be the miracle you have been seeking. But it must be chosen. You must choose to receive the gift, not simply wait for it to be given. You must choose to receive it. Mm-hmm. So any questions about, is it possible to have help from my team where I can notice the help? Yes, absolutely. Please call on your guides, your angels, the multidimensional beings. They are all around you right now. That they are with you to whatever degree and extent that your clairs are developed, you can perceive them. Some of you have your clairs developed at such a level that you perceive number sequences, or you see coincidences happening. Your level of perception is at that level. You can expand the senses of your clairs. You can expand and enhance clairvoyance, which is clear seeing, clairaudience, which is clear hearing, claircognizance, clairvoyance, clairaudience, and clairsentience. And those 4 primary clairs can be developed and enhanced once you know which ones they are. So for those of you that are seeing number sequences, clairvoyance is probably more developed in you. And you might want to learn to try to sense or see with your eyes closed who or what is around you. For some of you that are clairsentients, where you get a feeling, you might sense the energy of your guides, your angels around you. For those of you that are claircognizant, you just get a knowing of things. And all of those senses, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognizance, all of those can be developed more than you've ever imagined. And they will replace to a degree your functioning from your 5 physical senses. The non-physical senses, when they are fully activated, will release you from a greater subjectivity to matter. So now you're directing matter rather than being subjective to it. That's why it's so important to develop the clairs. And there's some beautiful schools in the eastern part of the world that actually train people how to open their third eye, which is, again, just one of the clairs. But you can learn to open all of the senses. You can open the whole eye. Let thine eye be single, where all the senses function holistically as one. So let's see if we understand this process. It's going to be 3 or 4 minutes. You're going to choose an emotional quality that's been with you, or an emotional condition, or a repeating problem, whether it's finances or relationship or anxiety or depression, something that's been with you for a good portion of your life that you're aware is with you. You just have not been able to overcome it. But you're going to make a choice to let it go completely today. You're just going to be willing to make that choice in the 3 or 4 minutes that we're going to be doing this. Thank you. I got it. Just scrolling up to some questions here. Question from Blaine. If I give life to that which gives me life, what do I do when my newborn son steals life from me in the form of sleep? Does that slow down my progress? No, they're saying what slows down your progress is that you think there is some sort of diminishment in your well-being when you are giving love and light to your son. Your perception of what giving is has a restrictor on it. You limit yourself, and therefore you feel like you are lacking in something. When your giving is free and clear and unconditional, you will not tire. You will not tire at all. For your joy will do things with your body that your mind cannot. When you are engaged in the vibrational expression of love and joy, you will not tire. Wow. Thanks for that question, Blaine. That's great. Question from I.M. Is it possible to have help? Yes, we've already covered that one. Question from Carolyn. What do I need to let go of to connect with the 12? Thank you. They're saying you need to let go of the belief that you need something special to occur in order for that to be perceptible to you. It is perceptible to you always if you can shift your attention away from the phenomena of what you think you're supposed to see and allow yourself to experience the energy of us, as opposed to trying to create a mental construction of it, for it already exists as it is. It already exists as it is, and you simply have to become aware of that. It is the same as what we're already saying. In your willingness to totally let go of that which does not serve you, and to be willing to give your attention to that which will serve you, will bring one into existence and remove the other from existence, at least the existence of your individualized expression. So it is a matter of perceptual awareness. Again, you will find in opening up these additional senses that are not of the body, your ability to see and hear and know us will be greatly enhanced. You're just changing the station. Manoj is asking, what is the significance of touching our upper palate with our tongue? What does it do, and when can we use it? When you want to complete the electrical circuit which goes up through the spine, out through the top of the head, and back down. There's an electrical circuit. It's not just a single circuit, but for the sake of your question, we'll simply say it this way. When you touch your tongue to the roof of your mouth, you bring the energy from up and down through the front. So up the back, down the front. Up the back, you allow that circuit to be complete. And yes, you may do that during this process, but we recommend that you do it during this process when you're accessing the one that you want to manifest more in your life, as opposed to the one you're letting go of. Thank you. Question from SJK. When I was very young, I saw a little dog get killed by a car right before my eyes. How was I responsible for creating that reality? How can I let that trauma go? That's a great question. And it's very simple. Sorry, they're just saying it is important that you understand that you give life to this memory every time you give it attention. You give it more life and you give it more abundantly. To release the trauma of the event is to be willing to release your attention to the emotions that that memory is connected to. Release the emotions. You will not lose the memory, but you will no longer have it as a troublesome memory, for the emotion will be released. When you release your attention from it, when you say, no, we're going to let that go, and you release. And you repeatedly release. And anytime it tries to come back, you release. I was given that process a while ago, especially when it came to the experiences I went through with my stepfather. And that was 7 years worth of very difficult times with a very abusive person. And I literally had to learn to repeatedly just let go of my emotions around that over and over and over again until I trained my system so that it didn't attach itself to those emotions. The emotions were gone. I have all the memories, but the memories don't upset me anymore. It's become a great, valuable learning lesson for me, and it's given me great compassion and understanding for other people that have gone through something similar. It's very important to be able to consciously let the emotion go. It has to be done. Yes, it has to be done consciously. You have to choose. I'm going to release this shock, this terror. I'm going to release this fear completely and totally. I'm going to release this anger. I'm going to release this. You must choose consciously. And then I'm going to give my life and light to joy, to excitement, to possibility, to freedom, to playfulness, to love. You choose to give your life and light to that which you wish to give birth to into your material experience. Thank you. Great question, SJK. We'll take 2 more questions, and we're going to do the 3 or 4 minute little process for this. And I love that they said that because when somebody asked, could it be a possible meditation tomorrow? I mean, my mind went to like a prolonged process. They said, no, it's not about prolonged processes anymore. It's about greater simplicity, and greater simplicity, not more complexity, greater simplicity. So that's why it's going to be like 3 or 4 minutes. Question from Lauren. Why did my whole body become invigorated when I saw a film of Greenland last night on a movie? Yes, they're saying that you had a lifetime there that was greatly pleasing to you. You had an experience in another form that was greatly pleasing to you. You may utilize the excitement, the vibrational energy from that lifetime and bring it forth into this, for you can release what you do not need in your life, but you can bring forward what you do. So bring these vibrations from then as not just a dream, but as a reality of energy that you're able to embody into the expression of your experience in that life that you are in that physical body that you're asking this question from. Wow. Okay, one more question, and then we're going to get to the process. And it's going to be really simple. I love it. I love simplicity. It's getting simpler and simpler and simpler every day to learn to release ourselves from the identity of the old self and restore ourselves to what we are as a sentient, immortal, eternal being of light and love and joy. It's amazing. Kelly is asking, I have been feeling a huge pull to let go of the person that initially helped me on connecting with my guides. This gives me incredible sense of guilt, but I feel such anxiety when we talk now. Simply, dear one, understand you are ready to grow. You will do no harm in becoming more of who you are. You will do no harm in becoming more of who you are, and you will give space to those that need to come into the place that you are leaving. Remember, you make a space when you move forward, even as those that leave physical bodies leave a space in our lives. Whether they are on this dimension or others, when they depart, they leave a space for something else to come into our experience. Do not be afraid to vacate that space so that this other may benefit as you did from that relationship. For you are ready for the next. And while you are seeking the certainty of knowing what is next, do not concern yourself with what is next, but get excited about what may be. And you will find that what will be a step up from where you were, with greater freedom and excitement. You cannot stay small. You cannot not evolve and grow yourself. It is your nature to continually, dynamically expand and transform. Wow. Thank you, Kelly. So the process, as I said, is very simple. What they had me do is they had me take the emotion. For me, it was anger. And this actually came about originally last night in a conversation with my guardian angel, John, and Norma and I, that was the emotion that I needed to let go of, was anger. And I needed to give life and my attention to patience and peace. And so choose that which you want to let go of. You've all chosen it. Make a decision now. I'm going to let this go completely from my life. First, make that decision. I'm going to let this, name it, whether it's anger or fear or guilt or shame, name it what it is. I'm going to let this go completely from my life. And really feel what you feel inside when you make that conscious choice. I'm going to let this, name what it is, go completely from my life. And just feel what you feel when you make that decision. Now, the next step is to look back over your past as you remember it at this time, to all of the instances that you can sense, feel, or recall where that energy was present in your life. And sense all of those spaces, places, and times with your awareness. Your awareness is not bound by localized time and space. So sense all of the spaces, places, and times where that which you are letting go of was present in your past. And now, as you recall all of that, repeat the decision. I am willing to let this go, name what it is, completely from my life. I'm willing to let all of this go completely from my life. And repeat that 2 more times. I'm willing to completely let all of this go from my life. I'm willing to let all of this go completely from my life. And feel the vibration of the energy in your body after making those statements. Feel the energy in your body after making those statements. And now choose what you're going to give your attention to. I'm going to completely and fully give my attention to, and name what it is you're going to give your attention completely to. I fully commit to giving my attention completely to peace, joy, love, prosperity, harmony. Choose what you're going to completely give your attention to now. You're shifting the energy from the old paradigm to the new. You're pulling your energy from the old and moving it into the new. And repeat that. I commit to giving my full attention to peace, love, joy, harmony, playfulness, compassion. Choose what you choose. and repeat your commitment 2 more times. Feel how the energy in and around your body changes as you make those statements. And feel the difference in how you are experiencing your awareness of being, having given your attention to the new vibrational energy. It's important you feel how your awareness changes when you shift your attention like this. This perception of change in experience is the evidence that your mind and body requires that you are initiating a change in it, as opposed to it initiating a change in you. Now you may repeat this process as often as you need whenever any of the old surfaces automatically from your subconscious or past patterning. Remember the first statement, I'm willing to completely release all of this from my life. And I commit to giving all of my attention to this new in my life, joy, peace, love. And every time the old energy comes up, go back to that process. For some of you, if you've chosen something like clinical depression or clinical anxiety, it will work incrementally. For some of you, you could have a massive shift in energy. But for most people, it works incrementally. You feel a slight difference and a slight difference and a slight difference, and you keep doing that process until the difference becomes so significant that the old anxiety, the depression no longer captures your attention anymore, because you're immediately going, no, I'm letting this go and I'm going to this. And you're training your mind and your body and your life, what you're going to give your life to. And whatever you give your life to, that's what your life will become. And your life is a product of what you've given your attention to right now. And our goal here today was simply to remind you it's time to let go of your suffering so that you can enable yourself to be all you can here. Very good. And again, the process here, so it started around the 34-minute mark. So you can pull this clip or come back to this video and replay that part and do it. It's fairly easy to memorize once you've done it a few times. And then when you start doing it on a moment-to-moment basis, so something triggers your frustration or upset or your anxiety or whatever gets triggered for you, and you realize, I'm committing to completely releasing this from my life, and I'm giving my attention to this peace, joy, love, whatever it is you've chosen to give your energy to manifest more of that in your life. And the more you do that process, the more you're shifting your energy from the old self to a brand new self. And it takes perseverance and repeatedly doing this, even when it seems hard. And that's those little differences that you'll feel, those little differences that you will feel every time you do this process, is that little difference you feel that's building the new life, literally. I commit to completely releasing that, letting it go completely. And I now give my life and my light to love, to joy, to prosperity, to playfulness, to compassion, to right relationship. I give my love, my light to that. And you'll feel incremental growth. And then that energy starts to become stronger and stronger and stronger. Remember, it's just a matter of pulling your attention away and pulling your attention away and putting it on the new one repeatedly until it becomes locked in. Right? Oh, you're welcome, Carolyn. We want to make things as simple as possible, especially at this time when you are moving from one age to a new age. From one age to a new age. There are different energies available to you in the process of creating, not just in that physical body, but in beyond, as you will discover. But it's important you recognize who you are so that you do not lose yourself in this. In recognizing the creative influence you have over what your mind and your body are doing, you begin to build the spiritual energy up necessary for altering the conditions of matter, time, and space very differently than many do strictly through their physical mechanism alone. You as awareness are transcendent to matter. But this you must discover from your experience, this simple process of being able to deliberately shift your energy out of the old self and into the new reality you're manifesting and experiencing the subtle change in your energy. We know that most of you did. It is that subtle awareness of the change that has occurred that gives you the informative experience of knowing that you have affected a change in your experience of creation and your experience of the effects of your creation. So now you are sorting the wheat out from the chaff so that you can get the seed to make good bread. Bread's a metaphor for life. Make a good life. So we're going to take a couple more questions, and then we're going to call it in. And I hope that each and every one of you will take the time to do this as frequently and as often as you can. It's time to let go of our suffering, all of us, everyone on this planet. We've been so entrapped by our past that we struggle to live in the present because our past gives us the illusion that it might be a terrible future, and it's not. It doesn't have to be a terrible future. Let it go. Time to let go so that you can grow. Wonderful. A question from Patricia. Does Brandy Vaughn have a message today? She's a pharmaceutical whistleblower who mysteriously passed a few days ago. Actually, the being is she says, I'm quite happy to be out of this dimension and still aware that I am. Cool. I like that. And there's a lot of beings that do not concern yourself with any of the whys or the how for. Concern yourself with what you have heard today. Concern yourself with what you can do now. Let it go. All that fear and stuff. Let it all go. Oh, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. Hi, Love Doggies. Question. What suffering am I holding on to? Well, you should know what your suffering is. Look at your life, where it is not what you feel good about. Wherever you are experiencing unhappiness and suffering, we don't perceive that you are entrapped in anything specifically. And after today, how could you be? You now have a choice and a process as simple as we could possibly make it. So any suffering that you might be aware of, let it go. Let it go and give your light, your attention, your life to that which will serve you. Cool. Thank you. Question from Tessa. Is there any guidance for me at this time? Please, anything that I need to know. You need to let go of your uncertainty. You need to let go of all of your uncertainty and have great excitement about what is to come. But you must consciously choose to release the one and embrace the other. This is what many of you do not understand. You must release the one and embrace the other. You cannot serve both of them. Let go of your worry, your uncertainty. Let it go. When you're aware of it, I release this uncertainty completely and fully from my life. And I embrace excitement and change and playfulness. For uncertainty does not necessarily mean that something is going to be wrong in your life. It could be the exact opposite. Something incredibly wondrous is going to come. And would that not be a surprise if something wonderful happened for you? Then you would have no more uncertainty if you knew that that would be your day every day, that you would wake up to excitement and wondrous change. Would that not be worth letting go of all of your uncertainty? Wow, thank you. And thank you for that super sticker, Carolyn. I really appreciate it. Question from Oliver. I am not working with music and working on finishing an album with my own music. Any advice from Spirit? I don't know who this is, but he's a very tall man, and he stands to your right side. And I keep seeing like a clarinet in one of his hands. He's holding a clarinet in one hand. And he's saying, remember where it started. Remember where your heart is in this. Each note, each step must come from this place, the foundation, the love that you have of this music. It's only from your love that the project will be as pleasing to you as your initial inception of the idea revealed to you. Cool. But he's tall, he's dark-skinned, and is an older style suit. So this guy's back somewhere like 1940s. Yeah, big band. You're saying yes. Interesting. Thank you. We'll take 2 more questions, and that'll be it for the day, folks. Okay. Question. I'm going to answer this question. If you're new here, please remember, when you want to ask a question, write the word question in front of it. I've programmed my subconscious mind so that that word question draws my attention to it. The other thing you can do is you can use the super chat. It sends up a colored pattern that gets my attention right away as well. But I'm going to answer this question because I think it's very important, from SJK. He's asking Blaine. Okay, sorry, I misunderstood. But yeah, you want to avoid using artificial stimulants to bring your biology up to a level that you need to be. You want to use natural water, living food, oranges, things that are alive that will bring your energy up organically, naturally, not artificially. Like caffeine depletes your adrenal glands. It's an artificial amphetamine. You don't want to use caffeine to bring your energy up. Okay, here we go. I think that's the last consideration there. There we go. Well, guys, I hope you will apply this process as potently, as consciously, and as deliberately as you can. Because when you allow yourself to feel what that decision does and the new decision does, and you feel the difference in your energy by pulling your energy from suffering and moving it towards possibilities, and you can feel that change, no matter how slight it is. Once you start to feel that change, you begin to liberate yourself. You now become the architect for your own creative process. Wonderful. And again, if you want to support these messages, I'm live Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., and on Saturdays from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m., where we do a meditation that kind of takes all of what occurred energetically, with the different beings that came through, and we do a meditation to integrate everything that came the preceding 3 days. So you can also support this work by becoming a member of my Patreon page, patreon.com/William Michael Forbes. Yeah. And I want to thank each and every one of you for coming out today, for participating. Remember to like this video, give it a thumbs up, because that somehow puts it out to more people to see when the video gets more likes. And remember to subscribe to my channel. Everything you can do, share this video, share this information. It's getting simpler. The level of simplicity is increasing in terms of our ability to transform. And they keep telling me this repeatedly. It's getting easier, William. It's not getting harder. And it will, I promise you. It is. You're very welcome, Kathy. You're very welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for coming out today, for your time, your energy, your focus, your patience, your perseverance. Much love to all of you. And I will see you on Wednesday for Shortcuts for Your Soul. Bye for now.